working. I didn't really get along with my boss. I didn't want to be there anymore. Situation for me and the environment there was too toxic, and I just wanted to leave. The thing is that, it's just like a lot of people, right? They are in a situation that they don't love it. They don't even like it. And, but the only reason why they're there, it's because what? It's because, they need the paycheck, right? That was me. So when I get this phone call, and they tell me, we're looking for people that, oh, well, I answer, I say, what do you mean people like me? You don't even know me. And then she says, well, people that do what you do and you can get paid more money. So when she tells me that, I'm like, oh, I said, have your brother-in-law give me a call. It was fast. It was a fast response. That day, listen to me, that day was a Thursday. I remember it was a Thursday. So that day, she says, okay, great. I said, well, as a matter of fact, we're actually having a business meeting tonight. Can you make it? And I'm like, what time is the meeting? She said, it's 7. I'm like, oh, perfect. I get off at 6 o'clock. I said, give me directions. And then she says, I'll just go ahead and pick you up. I'm like, yo, what? You'll pick me up? And I'm like, and I was like, for a second, I'm like, well, kidnapping wasn't as popular back then. I'm like, all right, well, I guess you can pick me up, right? So, and that's exactly what this girl did. She picked me up. Now, I follow her, she stopped by my work, and I follow her all the way, and I ended up in a Primerica office. And that's how I got here. Nobody had to twist my arm, put me in a corner, close me down, rebuttal my objections and all of those things. It was like I showed up to this office. I looked at the presentation, and they're talking about insurance. They're talking about investments. They're talking about mortgages. They're talking about all of those things. And I'll tell you one thing. My initial response was like, maybe this is not going to be for me. That was my initial response. The environment, everybody, every person sitting in that office, I'm not kidding, every person was older than me, every single one of them. There was not anybody that was younger than me at that moment. So I'm like, maybe this is more for a more of a mature, audience, right? At least that's what I thought. I'm like, it's probably not going to be for me, because you got to understand that every single time, somebody comes over to our office, I mean, not right now, right? But every single time somebody comes over to our office, you got to know that they're absorbing. They're questioning themselves like, oh, this, that, like they're having a million thoughts, going through their mind. And that's exactly what was happening with me. But they got to the end of the presentation. And the presentation was compensation. And they said, look, you help one client, you make this much money, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, well, in my mind, I said, if half of what they're telling me is true, half of it, I will still be making more money where I'm at right now. Half of it. I wasn't even expecting everything to be true, but I'm like, if half of it is true, Mercy, let me tell you one thing. They sold me an idea. They sold me one idea. And that idea that they sold me was that I was going to have the ability to make $10,000 a month. And I was like, wow, $10,000 a month. I'm like, if I can make $10,000 a month, like, wow. And guess what, Mercy? I bought it. I bought the idea. I bought the dream. They said, look, you can make this, da, 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 da. And I'm like, okay, well, if half of what they're saying is true, I'll still be making about $5,000. And that's $2,000 more than what I'm getting paid at Allstate. And I am killing myself. And they're not asking me to quit my job. They're telling me that, look, I can go on, my own time, this and that. You don't have to quit your job, the security, da, da, da. I'm like, I can try that. I can do that. And that is exactly, sorry, my iPad, closed down. Let me broadcast again.
Amazing.
And that is exactly, how I got involved in this business. Okay. What happened after that? I go to school, I get my license. First 30 days license, I make about $6,000. First 30 days license. That to me was a total game changer. Total game changer. And after that, I quit my job instantly. I quit my job the very first 30 days. After that, I never went back to have a job. I've never had a job since I've been 21 years of age. I am proud of it. I am happy, more than proud, that I don't have to clock in. I don't have to clock out. And just because I decided to buy, that idea. So that's how I got involved in this business. Now, there is one mistake that sometimes a lot of people could make. And that mistake is that whenever somebody comes in, whenever somebody gets involved in this kind of business, they go like, okay, you guys do insurance, investments, loans, got it. So they believe that whenever you come into this business, you need to do what? Insurance, investments, and loans. And everybody always approaches this business as a career or as a job or as a profession, which is sometimes the biggest mistake that we could make. Because let me tell you one thing, and I'm going to elaborate on this, and I'm going to show you some pictures, and I'm going to show you like the very, 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 very small version of my presentation. A lot of people, what they have is that, you know, we need to change our perception in our perspective on things. See, there's one question that I always ask, you know, recruits when they come in, or whenever I want to do an interview. I ask this every now and then, but I'll ask you this, Mercy. Would you love to work for Walmart?
No.
No, but let me ask you a different question. Would you love to own Walmart?
Yes.
Ah, see, now that's different. Like, what changed?
Own.
Well,
I own it.
exactly. What changed? See, a lot of people go like, oh, Walmart? Like, oh no, like working for Walmart. And all of a sudden, like, would you love to own it? Oh, that's different. Now all of a sudden you love Walmart. See, you wouldn't love to work for a Walmart, and you kind of look at Walmart as a bad working there. No, no. But owning it, oh, I love Walmart now. What happens, guys? What happens is our perspective. It's our perception. It's how we look at the business. One example that I always give, agents is this one too. Imagine you walk in. Imagine two people walk into a Starbucks for the very first time in their lives. Okay, you walk into a Starbucks. One person goes and says this, wow, what a beautiful place. I would love to work here. See, their perception and their perspective is what? It's job, it's career, it's profession, yes or no? But
Yes.
Another person walks into Starbucks and they look around and they go like, wow, what a beautiful place. I would love to own one of these. You understand my point?
Yes.
Okay, so what happens here? It's the perception. What changes everything is perception. So what do you think happens in Primerica? In Primerica happens exactly the same thing. People walk into one of our offices and they go like, wow, yes, that'd be nice. Like doing that for families, that is awesome. You know, that would be nice. They look at your office and they go like, wow, this is a nice place. You know, I like to work here. It looks nice. But other people might walk into Primerica and they go like, oh, wow, a lot of services. Everybody needs him. Nice office. Like, how can I have one of these offices? The perception is different. The perspective is different. So I'm about to share something with you. So let me go ahead and jump into this presentation. So I know that we have, limited time here, okay? And I do hope that this makes an impact, when it comes to recruiting. And remember, remind me to prove to you how easy recruiting is, okay? So that's me and my wife. I always start with, a quote. Progress is impossible without change. And those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. See, if we're not willing to change our perspective on how we see business, you cannot see the progress you want to see in your life or your business. You got to be willing to change up here. Now, you need to understand that we have been conditioned to work for a company for so many years. Maybe we come from families that maybe they never own a business, and maybe you've had in your life, it's been a job, and you think that, okay, the approach is going to be the same. It ain't. And the moment we teach you something else, such as recruiting, you see it as something different. Yes, of course, because you've never been in the situation where you are the one bringing in the people. You've always been the other people, the one that they're bringing in. So let me just give you a little background. In 2014, Mercy, I had about, as you can see in the presentation, I had about 40 licensed agents. That month, I made about, $4,972. And I'll tell you one thing, and I was struggling. I was really struggling. And let me tell you why I was struggling, Mercy, because I was focused on making money. I was focused on making money. See, let me tell you one thing. A lot of people sometimes believe that making a lot of money, it's the result of focusing on making a lot of money. It ain't. You understand this. Making a lot of money, it's the byproduct of something else. It's always the byproduct of something else. See, let me give you an example. Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, he died already, right? But he was a billionaire. Do you think his focus was to be a billionaire? No. If you hear interviews by Steve Jobs, his focus, you know what it was? To change the world. He wanted to change the world. Oh, and by the way, being a billionaire comes with it. Not even asking for it, it comes with it. When your focus is making money, you will make some money, but you're not going to make the kind of money that you really want to make. But when you focus on something else, such as building a business, oh, making a lot of money comes with it. It's building the business, not so much like, okay, see, a lot of people wake up every single day and they're thinking, who am I going to close today? Who can I do business with today? Who can I do business with today? Or maybe they're even thinking, you know, like, who can I recruit? And sometimes we just recruit just to recruit. Okay, maybe sometimes we just recruit just so that we can post numbers on the board, but we don't take it any beyond that. We're not conscious that we need to be building a business. So let me tell you what happened. Fast forward, you know, year and a half later, you know, we have, oh, and by the way, right here, we had no RVPs. Fast forward, a year and a half later, you know, we have one RVP. We went from 40 licensed agents to 183 licensed agents. And that month, we made about $43,000 in income. Now, I'm sharing this with you because your life and your business could radically change almost immediate. I mean, when I say almost immediate, in the next 12 months, your business could look so different, and your last worry will be making money. Your last worry will be making money. Your worries are going to be something else. Your worries are going to be some other stuff, but not making money. Because you need to put together a machine that just keeps on going, keeps on going, and keeps on going. And I'm going to tell you some of the things that we did. And look, I even have the pictures to prove it. Mercy, in 2014, when I show you the other slide, we didn't even have the ring. We didn't even have the ring. I spent so many years focusing on making money. I got as high as to $98,980, and I couldn't cross 100,000. And then, you know, I started to make less money. And then from there, it was a constant battle, me trying to get over $100,000, and I couldn't. And then we changed a few things in our business, okay? That it took us from, like, in 2014, see, we made those changes, Mercy, and in roughly about 4 or 5 months, bam, things really started to change for us. We go over $100,000 in income, and check what? And check this out. Next year, we increase our income by 100,000. Next year, by another 100,000. Next year, by another 100,000. Watch, 2014, barely getting the ring. 2018, getting our 4th diamond. Okay, this year, I'm not kidding. I mean, I'm pretty sure we're probably going to end up, you know, anywhere between $600,000 to $700,000 in income. Okay. Oops, hold on. So those are the pictures to prove it. So now, and look at this. This has been in the last 2 months. In the last 2 months, we've been paid $52,000 one month and $60,000 the other month. I struggle so much to make even 6 figures in a year. Now we're getting close to making 6 figures in a month. Okay, and that's how fast, you know, the business can change for somebody. Now we just made like 6 figures in 2 months, and it took us like forever. And all it was is just changing a few things up here. And I want to help you with those things. Okay, so let me go ahead and let me go ahead and share something with you, because this is very powerful. Okay, one of the things that I always talk to people about is this. Whenever you are in the biggest change that we made was this. We decided to run by one philosophy, and that philosophy was going to be recruiting will be the name of the game. Recruiting will be the name of the game. So what happened was this. Hold on. So what happened was this. In the past, there was no clear direction. We weren't like, okay, guys, like we need to do 10 by 10. We need to do 20 by 20. We need to do 30 by 30. Mm-hmm. We need to do that. And what happens with a lot of people is that they always come up with this monthly goals, 20 by 20, 30 by 30, 50 by 50, 100 by 100. But those goals have no end in mind. They really have no end in mind. What I mean by that is that, you know, sometimes I see like regional leaders, 30 by 30, like January. And by December, what's your goal? It's 30 by 30. And then I ask him, why? Why is 30 by 30? Like, give me why. You know, there's this famous, you know, author, you know, Simon Sinek or something like that, that he says that you always have to start with why. Why are you doing what you're doing? Like, why? Why is 30 by 30 your goal? I mean, for example, our goal this month is, you know, it's at least 100 by 100. But I know why we're going for 100 by 100. It's not just because I want to post 100 by 100. There's a reason behind that. Why do you want to do 10 recruits a month? Why 20 by 20? Why 30 by 30? So anyhow, for us, it's very simple, Mercy. I do coaching with my guys on a monthly basis. And I say, if you let a month go by without recruiting and licensing somebody, it was a waste of month. It was a waste of month. We got to make sure that we are growing by the month. See, let me tell you one thing. There are offices or there are RVPs or regional leaders or whatever that because of the pandemic and because of the changes Primerica made, their income went up. But that is not growth. Your income went up. That means that it was a spike. When all of this is said and done, did you really grow or not? Ask yourself a question. Did you really grow? Like, did you really? How do you know that you grew? See, if you went from 400,000 to 500,000, did you grow your business? The answer is, I don't know. How many licensed agents you had when you were making 400,000 and how many licensed agents you got when you're making 500,000? If I had 300 licensed agents at 400,000 and I got 310 licensed agents when I'm making 500,000, did I really grow? Not really. Not really. That ain't grow. You know what it was? It was a spike. We need to differentiate what is growth and what is a spike. I don't want spikes. You know, I want growth in my business. A lot of people sometimes, they do 100 by 100 the very first time in their lifetime. We're growing like crazy. No licensed people? No, you're not. You had a spike. Why? You know, you're going to make the money, you're going to spend the money, and you're going to go back to zero. The only thing that will guarantee growth is the size of your team. It's the only thing. And Mercy, let me tell you one thing. In 2014, we looked at our numbers and we said, okay, guys, we got 40 codes and we wanted to compete with the big boys. And I said, listen, guys, those guys are taking us to the slaughterhouse. And our approach is not going to be, we're going to beat you, we're going to kill you guys, da, 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 da. We're doing 10 by 10, 15 by 15, maybe 20 by 20, and those guys are doing 60 by 60. But me not understanding that in their base shop, they got 200 or 250 licensed agents while I have 40. It don't matter how prepared my guys are. We're not going to outproduce an organization that quadruples us in size. Have you watched the movie 300? Yeah, those 300 soldiers, you know, best prepared. At the end of the day, at the end of the movie, what happens? They end up getting killed because more recruits kept on showing up and they kept on showing up and they kept on showing up. And eventually it was too much to bear. It was too much to bear. I want that kind of an organization. I want an organization where we are way too many. It's impossible for anybody to handle us. It's impossible. It don't matter how many hours they're working, they're not going to be able to do it. Why? Because we're so big. Because we focus on that one thing. We focus on growing the size of the team. So, is it easy to recruit? I'm going to give you a few things about recruiting, okay? But I'll guarantee you it's so easy. I've done this. Did you guys went to the West Coast Convention, the last West Coast Convention we had?
Yes.
We had roughly about 10, 11,000 people. I was one of the speakers there, okay? And I did an exercise, okay? When I went to Punta Cana, the Dominican Republic, you know, Bahamas, you know, I did it whenever I've gone to trips. I've always done this example to show you how easy it is to recruit. And this is my example. Whenever I have a big crowd, and by the way, let me ask you this. Do you guys know how to work out the Zoom? I mean, do you guys know how to raise your hands and stuff like that?
Yes.
All right, cool. So let me go ahead and do this, okay? I want you to raise your hand on Zoom right now if you know how to work it, okay? If not, just kind of like, you know, go like this, okay? I want you to raise your hand if you believe, okay, you are considered what we call an easy recruit. Like, raise your hand if you believe you were an easy recruit. Like, yeah, somebody just showed up. I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? I'll give it a shot. You know, I'll try it. Why not? Okay. See, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people there. And let me tell you one thing. Okay, I remember doing this exercise at the West Coast Convention. I did it in Bahamas. I did it at the Dominican Republic. I've done it everywhere I've gone. You know, even in small bake shops. You know how many people raise their hands? 80 to 90% of the people. 80 to 90% of the people raise their hands. You know what that means? Recruiting is easy. The problem is that you're not asking enough people. See, what you're looking for are the easy recruits. That's who you're looking for. But here we are, like, complicating our deal, sitting down with somebody, draining the hell out of us, and like, come on, dude, you can do this. I don't know. I mean, I'm not happy where I'm at. No, you have no idea. Wait, you can have this out. You can have this. No, but come on, bro. Like, I don't know. Like, you know what I teach my guys? I'm like, hey, like, córtale, mi chavo. Like, no, like, look. Like, you need to stop it right there. Like, you need to identify who do you have in front of you. We do not have an unlimited amount of energy in the day. We don't. You, more than managing your time, you got to manage your energy. You got to be wise. Who do you invest your energy with? And it's so easy to find out. Ask a few questions. Ask a few questions such as, hey, bro, so where do you work right now? Starbucks? Okay, great. How long you been there? 3 years. Oh, that's awesome. Like, how do you like it? Oh, it's good. Now, let me ask you this. Do you see yourself working there for the next, 10, 20 years? Oh, hell no. Right answer. Right answer. See, little things like that. I'm like, okay, maybe, okay, I'll give a little more of my energy. I'm like, okay, so have you considered doing something else? Oh, yes, like, of course, like, if I can get out of this place. See, by asking questions, you get to find out who do you have in front of you. But this is the reality. Okay, a lot of times, sometimes people believe that the one thing that's gonna cut it for you, it's gonna be a presentation. See, a lot of people are like, what's your presentation? Look, slightly your presentation might have an effect, okay, slightly. But the reality is this: do you believe that presentations have changed throughout the decades in Primerica? Like, oh, now we got this one. Now we got the 5-page, the 10-page. I remember doing a 25-page or something like that. Okay. Now like the 2-page, and the 1-page, and the 5-page, and everybody's recruiting too. Guys, for us, I tell my guys, I say, listen, the one thing, look, you do not want to change the presentation. What you want to change is the person in front of you that you're doing the presentation. That's the thing that needs to change. Everybody's looking for the perfect presentation. It ain't that, in my opinion. Somebody may have a different opinion. It's fine. But at least, my opinion is like, what needs to change? It's the person in front of you. But the biggest thing you got to understand is this: most high income earners in Primerica are considered easy recruits. Yes, you have those that somebody maybe had to follow up forever, but it's a few. The majority of them, they looked at the information, they went like, yeah, sure, why not? Boom, join. How many examples have you heard from people that go like, yeah, my brother told me that he was gonna go to a meeting, and I just went with them, and I looked at it and I'm like, oh wow, like that's pretty nice. I like to try it too. And he joined and he became a 6-figure earner. That's how easy it is to recruit. But what happens is this: see, we do a presentation and somebody's giving you like, no, no, I'm good. No, I don't like it, this and that. And you bring all of your demeanor down. Your attitude comes all the way down. Why? Because you believe that their decision, it's on your hands. When you understand that, you know what? Your job and my job, you know what it is? Find the easy recruits. Find the easy recruits. Everybody, look, the people you really want in your team are most likely going to be easy to bring in. Easy to bring in. And it doesn't matter sometimes what kind of presentation you use, they're going to come in. I've done this over and over and over, and I keep getting 80, 90% of the people. I'm like, yep, I was. Did you guys hear my story, how I got recruited? Somebody called my job looking for my boss. He wasn't around. The lady says, we're looking for people like you. What do you mean like me? You don't even know me. Well, people that do what you do, you can get paid more money. All right. So can you come to the office? Okay, what time is it? 7. Okay, great. I get up at 6. Showed up to the office, signed up. How much easier do we want it? The problem is this. The problem is this. How many times are we asking in a day? See, what we need to keep track of is how many times are we asking in a day? because we want to get 10 recruits by asking 5 people. Like, my goodness, we're not David Copperfield here. So we need to understand, like, okay, look, my job, that's why whenever I go into an appointment, I understand that it is really not on my hands. My job is to find out. I want to find out if this is the guy or the girl that I'm looking for. The problem many times is this. People have a begging mentality when it comes to recruiting. Now, what do I mean by a begging mentality? When you come into a recruiting appointment, what are you thinking? I mean, what are your thoughts whenever you go into a recruiting appointment? Your thoughts is like, oh, Lord, please let this be the one. Let this be the one. Let this be the one. Okay, I need my one recruit. I need my one. He's going to say yes. 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 Yes, yes, yes. I'm staying positive. All of those things. Yes, you got to stay positive. But you know what that is, in my opinion? That is a begging mindset. And that is the reason why we get down emotionally so often. Because you go into a recruiting appointment with a begging mentality, saying, please say yes, please say yes, please say yes. And then you get, bam, a no. And it's like a slap on the face. It kills you because your expectation on getting a yes was so high. A little trick that I teach my guys is this. Look, whenever you go into an appointment, I don't want you to be thinking, please let this be the one. Please let this be the one. Say yes. I said, no. You're going to say, Lord, let me find out if this is the guy I'm looking for. Let me just find out. Let me find out. Let me find out if this is the guy I'm looking for. When you switch that little thing in your mind, like, let me find out, all you got to do is ask a few questions. Many times, some recruiting appointments will probably take you 10 minutes on finding out that, my goodness, I don't want to work with this person. So negative, doesn't want to go anywhere. I don't even know why he gave me the appointment. And boom, you know what? You are nice. You are kind. You know what, bro? Thank you so much, bro. Let me ask you this. Can you think of anybody that would be open to like make more money, explore different possibilities? Anybody you know? I'm looking for like motivated people. I'm looking for people that are looking for more. I don't know, like maybe my brother. Your brother, really? What does he do for a living? Well, you know, he works for, you know, Amazon. Great. Like, you know, what's your brother's phone number? You know, I would love to share this information with him. What's his number? And you try to get something, you know, out of that person. And boom, what do? You move on. So in the process of us bringing in people and licensing people, I came up with this graphic many years ago that helped our guys go like, wow, okay, like we can run with this. Watch this. In the process of you bringing in people, you're gonna find 3 different kinds of agents. The top producer, in my opinion, the top producer, which is somebody that's gonna be closing anywhere between 2 to 3 apps per week. The semi-producer, which is going to be somebody that closes anywhere between 2 to 3 apps per month, or everybody else. So this is going to be, you know, in your business, as agents continue to come in, you're going to have either top producers, semi-producers, or everybody else, right? That's kind of like the way it's going to work. Now, who do you want? Who do you want in your team? Everybody says what? I want the top producers, of course, right? All right. But let me give an example. What if you have everybody else's, which, by the way, let me tell you one thing. If you are, you know, in the real world, if you close any, let's say you're selling memberships. I used to work for a fitness club. Let's say you sell memberships. If you sell 2 to 3 memberships per year, do you know what happens to you? You get fired. If you sell cars and you sell 2 to 3 cars per year, you know what happens to you? You get fired. In the real world, you get fired if you only do 2 to 3 of those pieces, you know, per year, right? But in Primerica is different. And there's something that I thought my guys would say, look, I want you to think about one thing. What if you have 200 licensed agents that only do 3 apps per year? Only 3. That's 600 apps. If your average commission is going to be $400 per app, how much do you make? You make $250,000 a year of residual, 100% off of a lot of people that in the real world, nobody wants them, but in Primerica world, we love them every day. And they're happy, and we're happy for them. Our job, let me tell you one thing, okay? Sometimes, you know, we believe that, you know, we have control over who's going to be who. And the reality is that that is not your decision to make. See, let me tell you the mistake that we all make. The mistake that we all make in Primerica. We want to act more than God. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is that people come into your business, you want them to become a top producer. You want them to become a top producer. You want them to become a semi-producer. And guess what? That is not your choice to make. That is not your decision to make. Now, why did I say that you want to be more than God? Even God doesn't tell you, go through that door. God only says, there's two doors. This one leads this way. This one leads that way. Yes or no? It's exactly the same way. He ain't pushing you. He ain't like cornering you. He ain't trying to convince you. He ain't closing you. He ain't twisting your arm. He says, look, this is the way. This is the way. This is one way. This is the other way. Guess what we do? Guess what we're supposed to be doing as leaders? Casting the vision constantly. Somebody comes into your business and they do very little bit. What do? You still cast the vision. These are the possibilities. These are the possibilities. The only control we have is this. Bringing one and another, and another, and another, and another. That's the only control you have. And as long as we have an environment that promotes growth, as long as we have an environment that is helping people become better people, better human beings, you just gotta find the right person and put him in your environment. And when you have a mentality that up, one more, 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 and that's what you continue to do, business is going to look totally different. See, let me wrap it up with this. Do you guys know what this is? Okay, this happens to be a town in Mexico, and that little church right there, you know what it is called? It's called Coca-Cola Church. Okay? No, I'm not kidding. It's called Coca-Cola Church. Even Coca-Cola paid him a sign in this place that says, Bienvenidos a San Juan Chamula. Why am I sharing this with you? Okay, let me see if this is one Coca-Cola location. Okay, how much Coca-Cola they sell? I don't know. Who knows? But hold on. Let me see if actually the other picture is here. Actually, no. Let me go to, here it is. So this is just like the other place that I show you. This is one place somewhere, I don't even know where, okay? Somewhere in the world that they sell Coca-Cola, okay? I don't know where you come from. I come from Mexico, but I can guarantee you that if you go to one of the most remote places on the planet today, you will find one thing. You will find Coca-Cola. It don't matter where you go. You could go to this top of the hill mountain where there's like 4 or 5 houses and there's like a store this size where it's somebody's house. They're going to have some candies, this and that. Oh, and Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola will get itself in there. Somehow, Coca-Cola is going to get in there. Now, you're also going to find different locations like that one. Yes or no? Okay. Now, let me ask you this. This is a $1 million question. What can you do? Okay. What can Coca-Cola do to make sure that this location sells as much Coca-Cola as this location? What could you do? I want some ideas. What can we do? What can we do so that this location sells as much Coca-Cola as this location? Or I'll put it better. What can Starbucks do? By the way, this is in my town. What can Starbucks do to make sure this location sells as much Starbucks as this location? What can they do?
More locations.
No. I said per location. What can Starbucks do so this location can
advertise?
Sell this location.
Advertise.
What else? Another
trademark.
Answer.
Promote.
More people.
More. Another no.
Change the building.
Word of mouth.
I'm just reading the chats.
Right.
More people, more people, more people.
You guys probably
Word of mouth.
You guys probably don't expect this answer, but this is the right answer. What can Coca-Cola do to make sure that this location sells as much as this Coca-Cola? It's nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. What can Starbucks do so that this location sells more than this location? The answer is nothing.
Nothing.
You know what they focus on? Just opening one more location somewhere else. And then another location. Why do you think Coca-Cola finds its way in one of those remote places? Coca-Cola is not breaking their brains to ensure like how San Juan Chamalula in Mexico can sell as much Coca-Cola as Orlando, as the Orlando Disneyland or whatever. How can we do it? See, Coca-Cola ain't breaking their brains doing that, but we are. We are breaking our brains. How can I make this guy a top producer? Instead of focusing on, I need to bring another guy. Bring another guy, expose him to the environment you got, and all of a sudden, and if you have that mentality of keep on bringing another one and keep on bringing another one and keep on bringing another one and keep on bringing another one, all of a sudden you find yourself like, oh my God, I'm making a lot more money than I used to make before. I don't even know, like, you know, we made like 60 grand last month and almost 100% of it was residual because we switch our mind from just like a producing mindset to a building mindset. We said we need to grow the size of our team. And Mercy, that's pretty much all I got for you. I actually went a little, you know, overtime on this, but I do hope that you guys, you know, got the message on this. I hope that it helps in any way. Just remember one thing. It's all about how you position yourself in life. See, when somebody walks into that Starbucks, or when I ask somebody, would you love to work for Walmart? They go like, oh no. But would you love to own Walmart? What is the difference, guys? It's how you position yourself. It's how you position yourself. I'll tell you one thing. When I was 5, 6 years old, I didn't say, when I grow up, I want to be a financial advisor. No. Okay. And people say like, oh, I'd love to sell life insurance, this and that. Maybe you do enjoy helping people, but I guarantee you would love more if you own 50 offices so that you could do with your life some other stuff. It's how we position ourselves in any business that we're in that will make all the difference. You need to take this from just a profession, sales, you know, career mindset into a business mindset. And the business mindset for me is this one. I need to continue to grow the size of my sales force. That's the only thing that I focus on, Mercy. I hope that this, you know, help you guys, you know, in any way. You know, I wish you guys, you know, the best. You know, let's continue to kick butt. Let's continue to put the West Coast where it belongs, because I'm looking at that and I'm like, we're getting our butt kicked, but it's all good. We're coming and we're coming hard. All right, Mercy?
Thank you, Alonso. Thank you so much. Gracias. Te lo agradezco. Honestly, de todo corazón. And we're going to follow your lead. We're going to follow your lead and switch to recruiting and licensing. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for taking time.
Thank you so much to all of the Daniel Alonso's, you know, organization and hierarchy.
Yes.
You know, they have always set up a great example for us to follow, and we do appreciate that, okay? You guys definitely have, you know, great leaders on your side, okay? Thank you so much, guys. God bless you, okay? Talk to you guys later.
Gracias, Alonso. Give him a high five, everybody.